Welcome back to the JoCo show, Final Four edition. Joe, how are you feeling? Gonzaga's in. They're back in. First time since 2017. Feeling good?
I'm feeling good. The boys are back. This is episode number 6. First one we're going to be releasing though. So
Yeah.
pretty exciting. But no, I'm feeling good. That was a fun game to watch.
This is the one episode that people are going to go back to like, oh, they're super famous now. What's their first episode? Like, pick it up and like, wow, they started from their grandma's basement.
Yeah, honestly, Anna, you better hold on to
them. So, a couple things to go over is Gonzaga versus USC Elite Eight game recap. The good and bad, even though there was a lot of good, but there's still some bad there. Don't worry. Thoughts on UCLA Final Four game on Saturday. Predictions, keys to the game. Who do we want to play, Joe? Baylor or Houston in the Battle of Texas? And then the future of Zags men basketball, which is looking good right now, I will say. And then finally, a little bit of storylines of the season and just, maybe some fun tidbits from Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get into it. So kind of what, after watching that game, like definitely didn't go the way I expected it. Like what were some of your thoughts on like the good and the bad?
So going in, I feel like I was really scared of USC. We texted back and forth. And I was like, I'd rather play Oregon, even though they're both like bad matchups for us. But because of their length with the Mobley brothers and like, I don't know, they played lights out against SC. So I thought they dominated inside. Turns out our defense was rock solid. And we got like, it felt like we got like turnover every possession. They went down the court on like the first 5 minutes. And then that got us to like a 10-point lead right away. Timmy was doing his mustache thing and like Euro stepping people. So got off to a hot start, kind of cooled off a little bit. But, what was your takeaway going in, I guess?
Going in, yeah, no, I just like, because you kept hearing about how Gonzaga has like the best 2-point offense of all time, according to like that Ken Palm stats. And then USC was like the best 2-point defense. And like I remember against West Virginia, Timmy didn't do that great against the West Virginia bigs, so I was kind of worried about that. I thought it would definitely be more guard oriented, but Timmy really stepped up. It's gonna be interesting to see if that affects his draft stock because he was definitely like a second round guy, but after doing that well against Mobley, like who knows? We'll see, but we can talk about that later.
Mobley, a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
So against good competition and you see it all the time when like players do well towards the end of the season and especially in the tournament making a run, obviously their stocks in the skyrocket. Yeah. Suggs was phenomenal, like especially. And I don't know, it just shows you how lucky we are to have him. And like you said, that West Virginia game that like all of our hearts stopped when he went out with a, potential injury.
Yeah.
And like, I can't believe we are just watching him dominate like at Gonzaga, like a 5-star, just blue chip prospect is just so, so good. We're so lucky. Some of the bad that I thought is if there was much, Kispert, like I maybe he's just like, we're too spoiled with him, but like he missed a lot of shots I feel like he should make. And just going further against UCLA and whoever, Baylor or Houston, I hope that he turns that around. It's all about confidence, but you know how they play in a football stadium. So maybe there's some sort of the backdrop messing with his eyes. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. His eyes can be a problem with that. Definitely could be a problem. We won't get into that though.
We don't get into that.
No, we love Corey. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Any worrisome plays or any more game recap for you?
Well, I think the good for sure. It's exciting that it's such an all-around team effort. Like we have so many guys just doing their parts. Like Anton in the beginning of the year, like I thought he was awful at the beginning of the year, like straight up. There's no argument about that. And now like he really knows his role. It seems like it's like just block shots, get rebounds, play good defense, and like kind of position yourself nicely on the offensive end. Like you'll get your buckets, and then like Aaron Cook getting a couple threes, like a Yayi having a good game. Like everyone's doing their parts. So that was pretty exciting. And then like going into the game, I thought their size was going to be a huge issue, but I saw we out rebounded them. It was 41-29. And it's like a lot of it's just effort. And like a Yayi, we know like he's just a beast on the boards. Like honestly, we're going to have to, and if we get to the championship, like Houston's a really good rebounding team. And like Baylor's definitely not going to be letting up on the board. So like that's good to see. And then I think USC was in like the top 5 for like most blocks per game out of all teams, and they had 0 blocks,
That's unreal.
which is
That's
insane.
unreal.
I feel like I honestly think a big part of that is our defense leading us into transition. Like it's hard to get blocks if you're not set up.
And
So
they talked about this on the podcast real quick. Gonzaga's they're so good at finishing like in transition in traffic. Like on the broadcast, I say podcast. I don't know what they said. But they're so good at finishing. Like Kispert turned like he got so athletic and like can finish like through people. It's unreal.
yeah, he's definitely improved in that regard.
Yeah.
And then bad, I just like I don't think it's that bad because I think it's kind of just human nature. But like we just weren't trying as hard. It felt like in the second half, kind of like let our foot off the pedal a little bit. So that always is a little concerning because you want to have momentum going into that next game. But I'm not too worried about it. Like Few's a great coach, so obviously that's not going to be an issue. And then it wasn't really a huge issue in this game, but maybe just like this was like the first time we've seen Timmy in a while like get in a little bit of foul trouble. The end of the game with 4 fouls, and it's like it didn't really matter in that because like the other guys played so well when he was on the bench, but like you definitely want to have your best players out on the floor when you're playing Baylor or Houston or UCLA, I guess too. So
yeah, absolutely. To me, I thought he might be overdoing it a little bit with the celebration, but I don't know. We're winning, and it's working well, so I love it. And then one more thing about Suggs, he finished with 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. He was two assists away from triple double in an Elite Eight game, which is just
gotta be insane.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I feel like with Suggs, it's like he always is going to give you those beautiful passes. Like he had some really nice passes in that game, but it's like he turns it over a lot. So I feel like the games where he can cut, because he only had 3 turnovers that game. It's like that 8-3. That's a great ratio. Like if you can do that in his next 2 games, like it would be really hard to beat us. But so I guess now kind of going into our next game on Saturday against UCLA, like kind of what are your thoughts on the opponent and like anything you're scared of, and what do you think is going to be the result of the game?
UCLA is a ugly winning team. Like they win the games suck to watch just because they just win ugly. Like their defense is good and like, but there's like missed shots and like, I don't know. It's just like Mick Cronin, their coach from Cincinnati. They always kind of played this style of like good defense and like kind of shitty offense that made it through. And that's what UCLA is. But they have JoCo, who is their, like, what is he, like a guard forward? But he's a really good, he's like a sharpshooter, makes a lot of plays. So that's their one key to lock him up. I think Timmy will do fine against Cody Riley, who's their big man. He's nothing super special. Mobley was the big man to stop. And he was pretty, silent in that game. He didn't make a huge impact. And if he did, it was, later in the game. So yeah, lock up JoCo and then again, get out in transition, let your offense do the thing that they do all season and attack them inside. What do you think? How do we beat UCLA soundly?
Well, I just think like that Timmy versus Cody Riley matchup, like that's a pretty big one for us. Like they have some really good guards. Like obviously I can't JoCo or however you say his name. I'm not going to try. But they have a few other guys that like are pretty good at 3-point shooting. And like, in the tournament, if you're hot one day, like I forget what the guy's name is right now. I should know this, but he's shooting like 57% from 3 this tournament. And it's like,
is it like
what his name is?
The Tiger guy?
He's a shooting guard. He's on the bench, but yeah, I don't know. Just like obviously being sound, not turning it over, don't get into foul trouble. Like we're just a better team than this team, but like they have one of like the slowest paced offenses in the league or in the nation. So just obviously like try and play your game and like don't let them control the tempo because like if they're controlling the tempo and hitting threes, like that's how you lose. Yeah. So, but I don't know about you, but definitely for this game, like I know there's wood and I should be knocking on it, but I think we're going to beat them pretty handily. Like I'm not too nervous. I think we should be winning by 10 plus.
It would be a really interesting matchup if Michigan had won that game, and we'll maybe get into Juwan Howard's coaching later. They scored 49 points in 2 halves of basketball. So, I mean, that does show you how good UCLA's defense is. I read a stat that like teams are shooting really bad free throw percentages against UCLA. So that's kind of luck plays in. And as an 11 seed, just to make it that far, you need a little luck. Plus with the playing game. So credit to UCLA. They're coming back as a program, which is, you know, a little bit, it's going to be interesting with recruiting on the West Coast because Gonzaga's been the kings of the West Coast for the last, 10 years. So that'll be interesting going forward. But yeah, I think UCLA should be like a USC type of game, in my opinion. So I think we win by 13 to 15 points, maybe a backdoor cover UCLA, if that.
Oh, we should have done a betting segment on this, but
we could add it in.
Yeah,
so I think the guy. Are you talking about Jules Bernard? Jaquez. Jaime Jaquez.
No, actually, no, it's not that guy. It's I'm gonna look at their roster real quick. I just need to see the name. It's one of these guys.
It's Jules Bernard, I'm sure.
I think it's David Singleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my fourth guess. So
okay.
I was basically there. All right. So moving on to all right, Joe, I'll let you start. Who would you rather play, Baylor or Houston?
Well, obviously, I think both games would be tough in their own rights, but I'd definitely rather play Houston. Like Baylor scares me. Like their guards match up really well with ours. Like not saying they're better, but I think it's not like with USC. That was the thing is like we just have such better guard play, and that even if Timmy didn't have a good game, I wasn't that worried or as worried. But like Davion Mitchell, like that guy's just a terror on both ends of the floor. Like defensively, like he could just lock down Suggs or whoever he is guarding. And like, obviously you have Jared Butler, who's like one of the best players in the nation. He hasn't been having the best tournament. So kind of like Kispert. It's like Kispert. It's like, you know, any day they could just have a really good game. And like, they're not going to play poorly. Like they're not going to really screw it up. So I'm definitely more scared of Baylor, but Houston, like their rebounding ability, that always scares me in tournaments. Like, you know, so either team is going to be a good game, but I'd much rather play Houston.
Yeah, I also Maceo Teague, the guy who shoots from his chest, kind of flicks it.
Oh yeah,
he's a sharpshooter, but he's also another good guard. So they kind of like stack up with Gonzaga with their guard play. It's like we have like almost 4 guards with Kispert. It's like a guard forward, honestly. Yeah. So they stack up well, and then they have the big tank Vital, Valley, who's just like a tank. I don't know how much he plays, but that guy should play football.
Back to the dude with the weird shot. You can't hate on the weird shot. Sometimes it's money, you know.
We'll add a go shot right here.
Yeah,
look at him. He's just backing it up. You got to respect it.
I feel like some of like the great NBA players who have had really weird shots, like Sean Marion, like just
the greats, yeah.
Sean Marion, no, that guy was okay. The greats,
good.
Like,
hey, he's in the basketball Hall of Fame, which is like we're almost in there.
LaMarcus Aldridge with this shot where he like flicks it. But anyway,
terrible podcast. terrible. But all right, so I agree with you. Are you done with your point, by the way?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna kind of go into the next one, like unless there's anything else you want to add. But
no, I agree. I want to play Houston because if we beat UCLA, we have the blueprint to beat Houston, who's better at what UCLA does, I think, which is like play good defense and like, you know, offensive rebound and like win these shitty, ugly games. Sorry.
Or did you send it to me or did I forget? I saw this one. Do you see the drills that Houston runs for their like rebounding and loose balls?
No.
It's insane. It's like, dude, it's like Gladiator. They just have them like the Coliseum, basically. It's like they just throw out a ball and there's just like a circle of people. And it's 2 guys just like diving on the floor, like wrestling for it. But it's not like I gotta send. I might honestly, we can like show the clip, but like it's insane. Like I would not want to mess with them. Like I don't think we're gonna be winning many loose balls against them. That's for sure.
Hey, let them do it because we don't want any injuries. Whatever. we'll get on run and beat them. Whatever in our game. Houston's coaches and Baylor's coach. Did you read that thing? There's an assistant coaches on each Houston and Baylor. That's like a father-son. So there's some further ties there.
Ooh,
Interesting, which is like, I don't know. They'll probably build that up. Jim Nance will probably have some comments to say, but who knows if that actually plays a role.
Speaking of assistant coaches, there's a really underrated storyline. I don't know if you're aware of this, but do you know who one of the Baylor assistants is?
Yes, a former Gonzaga, like, superstar,
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. I'm blanking on his name, but
Remy
Barakis.
Baraka. Yeah.
Yes. Honestly, good point.
Yeah. So I don't know if he maybe has some inside tips, or I don't know what he's going to do. We'll see where his loyalty resides. Is it?
I mean,
Gonzaga or Baylor?
Gonzaga team that lost, and he's a Gonzaga guy through and through.
Yeah, he wants us to win a ship, so maybe
but he probably gets a ring if Baylor wins. So who knows? That's interesting. All right, so okay, wait, we're gonna take a moment and knock on wood loud so people can hear, because we just talked about hypotheticals going like who we want to play in the championship, but we didn't really like.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is if Gonzaga gets through UCLA, which is actually a really good. One more note on that. That's a really good revenge game. I know we've played them, like, since the Adam Morrison game, but like that's a really good revenge game, and that clip's gonna be played a ton this week. It already has been. So
also, just one side note before we go into the rest of our stuff.
Yeah, keep the side notes coming.
I was watching that Michigan UCLA game, and I didn't have the volume on because I had some music going, and I kept seeing this old guy. They showed that old dude like 60 times in that game.
Oh my God.
Found out he was like the father of the UCLA coach. Like, dude, oh my God, if we have to see that guy more than one or two times, I might kill myself.
That's a good point. No, actually, I watched the playing game with Michigan State, and they showed it's his dad. It's Cronin's dad, whatever his name is. Yeah. I think it's Hep or something. Hep C. So they showed him like 10 times a game. Every time there's a good play for UCLA, he's up there just like.
Yeah, I was like,
Sister Jean. College basketball needs an old person as their like iconic.
I was like watching. I was like, who is this dude? Like, what is his deal? Because like I was just at first I was thinking, I was like, okay, they don't have many fans in the stands. Like they really like this guy for some reason. Like I need to not swear on this show.
You can swear. We're
okay. Or vulgar. Okay. Yeah, they literally have a hard on for that guy. Like, who gives a shit? Like. And so literally the like production crew is just gonna have B-roll of Adam Morrison crying, the comeback, and the old dude. That's all they're gonna do. And it's gonna, oh my God, it's gonna be the death of me.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna do America a favor and knock all that shit out, because now Gonzaga and Baylor have or Gonzaga and Houston, they have no like big storylines or old games or old people. Enough of the old. We're moving forward into the future, which is a good segue into the future of Zagsman basketball.
Ooh, nice.
The highlight right now is Hunter Salas.
Mm-hmm.
Another 5-star. Let's give it up.
Good job.
5-star.
Welcome.
Third 5-star recruit, I believe. Third.
Yeah. But I thought even though him and Suggs were both 5-stars, Salas is like somehow like a higher rank than him. Out of like the 5, like, they're pretty close, I think, but like he definitely has a little bit more upside, which I think
was it Zach Collins,
and
then Hunter Salas, and obviously Jalen Suggs.
Yeah.
So
we have right now.
So I think this is starting a new wave of recruiting for Gonzaga basketball, because we're no longer a mid-major. That is done. I mean, that narrative, that's done. We're a powerhouse. And especially if we can seal the deal Saturday and Monday night, we turn into like almost a blue blood of college basketball. Like, I mean, I know we don't have the history of Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, but we're that new wave that Mark Few's, in the last 20 years have started, which is unbelievable, of just, competing every year, Sweet 16s in the last 5 years. So if we seal the deal, that'd be huge for going forward for recruiting. And I think it's just getting started, actually, of a new wave.
Yeah. I'm like, because Chet Holmgren, he did this like Bleacher Report like Q&A thing today. And he said that he's like locking down his commitment date soon. And like, I'm so pumped because let's pray to God he comes to Gonzaga. But if we get him, our roster next year, if Timmy stays, we'll see. Hopefully he stays. He needs to work on his 3-ball. So I think he should stay. But if he stays, our roster next year with the depth, like we might be having like a 10-guy rotation.
That okay. So Joe and I we kind of talked it out. There's like our bench five could get second place in WCC easy.
Yeah.
And compete and maybe make another Sweet 16 with Tommy Lloyd.
So let's,
okay,
let's go through the position by position.
Yeah, let's go through it. Okay, let's see. Let's try to agree on this starting five coming up, and then we'll kind of get back in recruiting going forward. All right, point guard or one, Nemhard.
Yeah, let's hope he comes back.
I hope he comes back. I don't see him mocked a ton. I haven't looked at a mock draft in like a week or two, which they always change a ton. So
yeah, I think he's gonna be just like a Yai from last year, where he like tests the waters without an agent, and then he like gets some info and comes back and so yeah, him.
Nemhard. And then wait, sorry, and then just a little like a preliminary. This is assuming Suggs is gone, Yahi's gone, Kispert's gone. Those three are for sure gone.
And Aaron Cook.
Aaron Cook. Okay, Aaron Cook's gone. And then Timmy is the one we don't know, but we'll make adjustments as we go. So one, Nemhard, let's say he stays. Number two,
Salas. I feel like you have to go Salas. Like you could say Dom Harris or Strother, but I think it has to be Salas. He's just too good.
I think so too. I mean, yeah, he's coming in. Unless he does really bad, like playing with the team, whatever. Who's your three? This is what I'm curious to talk to you about.
Yeah, this is the one where it's like, I think they're going to go with Watson, and it's definitely the right decision. I think just because of like, we're going to be so good on offense next year that it's like, it's way more important for us to have like really good defense and like just knowing the system than having, because you could say Strother would be the other guy and your offense would just be like dynamo at that point. But I think you got to go with Watson, but I don't know. What do you think?
So I went Watson because a couple of reasons. One, he's getting a lot of playing time now, which shows few trust him as a sophomore, which is pretty impressive. Well, I mean, for like, typical few, like usually you play later in years, but he's a sophomore that's playing a lot. And he's also, while he's playing, he's doing like all the dirty work. Like he's playing good defense, rebounding a ton, like, and he's like playing hard and like good at his role. So he's obviously listening to the coaches. So I think he gets rewarded, and maybe his offensive game and his jump shot or something, or maybe more offense comes out next year, which would be interesting to see his development. So I do think he starts.
I'm excited to like see how he turns out because he redshirted last year. I'm pretty sure, right?
He played a little. He got injured. I think they did some sort of injury redshirt. He did shoulder surgery.
Yeah, I think he was able to like redshirt. And then this year, if I don't know how many people know this, but this year doesn't count towards your eligibility.
Huge.
COVID. So like we'll talk about Omar Ballo too, but like it's the same thing with Watson. Like if he really wanted, he could have 4 more years of playing with Gonzaga. Not saying he's going to do that.
Yeah.
Because he'll probably go to the NBA, but like, I don't know if he's probably going to go to the NBA, but I think he'll not want to play 4 more years, but he could.
Yeah, and if he plays 4 more years, it's like good and bad. It's good in that like we get him for 4 years. Bad for like he's not good enough to go pro earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like there's good and bad to that.
Yeah.
Usually players obviously don't do that just because NBA players want like a 23-year-old. They'd rather have a 19-year-old, which makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so that's the 3 position. Anything else on Watson?
No, that's it.
Okay, 4. I have something written down that if Timmy stays, it's Timmy who's like technically the 4, which you'll understand with my 5. Or they're kind of interchangeable in this thing. Let's say Timmy stays. Who's your 4? Or I guess 4 and 5 are kind of.
Yeah, 4 or 5 are the same thing. With who my other guy is, I think like you said, it's the same thing. So I think Timmy, he should stay. Honestly, like I'm not even just saying that because I'm biased. Like even though he's blowing up because of his mustache, he's getting all over T-shirts and everything. Like he needs to work on a 3-point shot because like that's the only way he's like gonna really just bump up big time. I feel like in mock drafts, like he is a really good player, but like he needs to get more of like an NBA body and kind of a 3-point shot.
Yeah, I think right now he's dominating. I mean, obviously against lesser competition, he's good. He's like his offensive skill has gotten so much better. But yeah, like did you mention his defense? His defense could improve. Obviously against NBA players, it's gonna be tough. And then he's gonna pump fake and drive like I think every time he gets the ball at the top of the key. So
Yeah.
if he adds a jump shot like Tilly did in his later years, that'd be impressive. And then 5, I think we both agree we're assuming Chet comes to Gonzaga. So he'd be the 5. Timmy, Chet, Watson. That goes back to like a big start, like 3 guys. That's like a really big lineup, which is hard to deal with. And it'll be interesting to see if that is the starting 5. If Few goes with that, if it goes with maybe another guard in there instead of Watson.
And Chet is just insane because like he can do every single thing on the court. Like there's not a thing he can't do. Like he's crossed up Steph Curry. He gets a zillion blocks a game. He's amazing on defense. And like he can dribble, he can shoot, he can do everything. So it's like one of those things where it's really positionless. So if that's our starting 5, like and with our bench and assuming our other guys make strides, like I don't know how we don't make the Final Four next year.
Yeah. So again, we're gonna go back up real quick. I want to show this is the Friday beers.
Love it.
I mean, Timmy's getting this a lot of attention, which also makes me think like he's on Friday beers, whatever. He's all over like Twitter and because his mustache and his celebration. Like it is fun that he's doing all this, but maybe this attention makes him go pro. Who knows? Okay, let's go back up a little bit to recruiting because we kind of just spoiled that we think Chet's going to go to Gonzaga, or we hope, maybe wishful thinking, but recruiting going forward. I know you saw this, but we'll include the clip right here of Jalen Suggs at the post-game press conference talking about his decision to go to Gonzaga instead of play football at a D1 school or play basketball at another D1 school. He chose to go to Gonzaga in Little Spokane, Washington, in Eastern Washington, at a school of 6,000 kids, and he thought it was like the best decision of his life. We'll include this right now.
Coming here, I knew that we were going to win. Gonzaga historically, has always won and done a great job at that, and got to the tournament, and it's been a great team in the tournament. So that was one of the main things. But also, again, I always talk about it. It's the family piece. I didn't want to come be another piece of the puzzle, just so they could use me, for these 6-7 months, get wins, and kind of ship me off to the next part of my journey. So from the day that these guys started recruiting me, they were straight, they were upfront, and they treated me like I was one of their own, honestly, like I was part of their family from day one, and I saw Gino come in and he told me how much he loved it. I saw how much fun he was having, and how much he grew as a player, after coming here. He was already great, but I think that over the years, the coaching staff has done a great job in developing their guys and getting them better. And that's exactly what they've done with me. So looking back on it, this is the best decision I've ever made. I miss football every day, but I couldn't see myself anywhere but here right now.
But what is your reaction to that?
Okay, so that clip kind of just tells you everything you need to know about the future of Gonzaga. Like it's at first like the Zach Collins, like it was kind of like top 25 recruits, like in the middle range. Like they were helping us get to where we wanted to be, but like just showing that you can have those top level guys get picked in the top 5 in an NBA draft, like it's just a whole new wave. And like it's super exciting because I think if Chet commits too, which according to all the experts he's going to, like it's going to be a really big deal. But I think that one of the biggest things too is like continuing to just have that blend of your 4-star guys that stay for 3 years and then your 5 stars that are one and dones and then your transfers of like the older guys. Cause like I don't really want to become a Kentucky or a Duke where they just have a bunch of freshmen because like it's not really. I think if you really want to win back to back to back championships, be a real dynasty, like you got to have that really good mix. So I think Jalen Suggs is helping us get those 5 stars, but I think we'll continue to do what we do.
Like let's take guys like and I agree. Let's sprinkle in the 5 stars with guys like Kispert and Rui who stayed 3 to 4 years and like freshman sophomore year, like freshman year, bad to like you see it and then like they explode. That mix in with the 5 stars, and I think that's like that's the perfect concoction of 3 to 5 stars with unbelievable coaching to have a good future. And like we're seeing it right now. Like this is just a start. We're seeing it right now with potentially Hunter Salas and in the past was Zach Collins and Jalen Suggs, but Hunter Salas and then Chet potentially and Walker Kessler, which is another guy. He's a 7-foot center from UNC who like didn't, I guess he didn't get enough playing time at UNC. And so he's been rumored to come to Gonzaga. So there's just more talent like sprinkling in because these players know it's such a dynamite program.
Yeah. And like I'm excited to see too. I don't really know how many roster spots we're gonna have. It's the one thing that will be a little bit unfortunate is I do think we're gonna start seeing some more guys transfer out of Gonzaga just because our rosters are gonna become so filled and competitive. Everyone's gonna be wanting to come.
Yeah.
Like I saw like there's a 4-star shooting guard that decommitted from Texas, I think it was. And we offered him a scholarship or we've talked to him a little bit and like there's only so many spots to go around and like
Yeah.
it's going to be hard for a lot of these guys to get playing time, but like I think at the end if you have that nice blend of your senior transfers, like we're just going to be having the best team every year. And like I'm like guys like Strother who I'm really excited for. Like those are the guys that are going to be 3 to 4 years that are end up being the Kisperts and like I think we'll be stacked for a while.
And let's not forget about our ability to recruit overseas and like in different countries too, which is also just another like cherry on top. But yeah, I would never want to become Kentucky, Duke, or whoever, like with the one and dones. And if we have a couple, that's fine. But like we can't have that every year, and I don't think we ever will. So yeah, it's looking good right now. And like you said, to your point about like having players transfer out, I think that's a good problem to have. As long as it's not like the best players or like it's something with our culture or some, with our staff, like he doesn't like a coach because it's like a really good player. If it's like too much talent and like some of the lesser talents leaving, that's not the worst problem to have. So, yeah, I love where the future's headed for Zags men basketball.
I got a question about a particular player. Like I know he's really been a disappointment to me so far, and like a lot of people are going to roll their eyes, like why you even want to talk about him? But Omar Ballo, he is now only 19 years old, and he does have 4 years of eligibility left. Like, do you think he's going to be one of those guys that in like 2 to 3 years will end up being an impact player? Do you think he's just going to be someone that didn't really work out?
I don't know. I don't really get it because maybe I do get it, but it's different talent. But he played in, is it FIBA? He played in the FIBA Cup.
Yeah, the International Cup. Yeah.
This last summer, and he dominated, which I get, like different talent, like D1, non D1, whatever. But him playing, he's a different player. Maybe he doesn't like mold well with the team, or like, and when he gets in, he just looks like a little out of it. At least last game he did. I don't know. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't developed because we thought he'd be fast. And let's keep in mind, like you said, like he's really, really young. So he does have time to possibly develop, but he was supposed to be like, it's tough having a nickname like Baby Shaq and not being able to play a minute of any game, this year. So I don't know. I really hope so. But if we get a guy like Chet and Walker Kessler, like, there's only so many big guys you can have on a team that get like rotational minutes. So he's got to have to step up or wait a long time for his time to shine. So it'll be, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, he did come into Gonzaga when he was like 17, 18 years old. So like, still so young. And like, he did live in another country. Like, you got to think that's such a culture shock. Like,
sure,
it's not easy to transition. And like, I know, he was like a top international recruit. The other guy, I can't say his name for the life of me, but the blonde hair guy from like Russia, or wherever he's from.
Arlarskas.
Yeah, that guy. That guy was a top international recruit too, apparently, and like that guy's probably going to transfer. Like, realistically,
it's too bad because I think he's a solid player. Like, I don't know. Like, I think he could play really well at maybe like another WCC school that's not that.
It's crazy. Yeah, that when it was like the running. Like 1 or 2 minutes left in the USC game. Like the 5 guys we had out on the court, it was Ballo, who's a top international recruit, the Arslauskas guy or whatever, top international recruit. Ben Gregg, top 100 recruit.
Yep.
Strother, top 75 recruit. Dominic Harris, top 75 recruit. So it's like, it's insane the amount of talent we have on.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Actually, Ben Gregg got it like a couple minutes at the end of the half, which I would love to see because like having a little more depth at like a 6'10" center position rather than like a 6'8" Watson, even if it's just for like a couple minutes in these last couple games is huge. I think if Timmy does get in foul trouble or something like that, and we need a big huge guy. But like you said, I think our bench like this year, and also next year we can go another 5 deep. Like let's say Strother's on the bench and Walker Kessler transfers. And we're just kind of assuming all these things. Dom Harris, Ben Gregg, Ballo. I mean, I don't know. I mean, kind of the same position overlapping, but like again, these are like 5 guys that could start almost anywhere else in the country.
Okay, let's talk about one thing because it's definitely a possibility, and we kind of mentioned it. But like, what do you think? Just we'll do this pretty quickly. But what do you think the starting 5? How does it change if Timmy leaves?
If Timmy leaves, I think we go, and Nemhart stays.
Yeah.
Okay, Nemhart, Salas. The 3 goes to Strother. 4 is to Watson, and we're assuming Chet comes.
Yeah.
It's Chet, or if Chet doesn't come and we get Kessler, it's Kessler.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. I think we just put because Strother, I don't know. I like him. He's a Kispert in my eyes. He's the same size. He has a good shot. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree with that completely. That's what I was going to say. And like, I hope for Harris, like, because I think Harris can be really good. I hope he doesn't get frustrated and like think about transferring because I heard that as a rumor. I don't know if it's true.
Can he play point guard or is he a shooting guard?
He's a shooting guard, but
Is
I think with him, it's like I feel like every time, like the difference between him and Strother is like Strother. I think it seems like he understands a little bit more that this is a process and like you got to play with the system and learn how to do it. It's like when he comes in the game, he's not just hucking up shots, but like when Harris gets in the game, he knows he's not playing that much, so he just shoots it, man. It's like he's super talented. I think he's gonna be really good. But like I think he kind of that's one of the reasons why he's not gonna be a starter next year if Timmy leaves. Is I think he's not being patient enough for playing within the system, but I think they're both gonna be really good if they stay. I hope both of them stay, but we'll see what happens.
We kind of have like if we get lucky and get Chet. Well, actually, I have a question for you. If we get Chet, do you think Kessler comes and vice versa?
I think no matter what, Chet would come because I think he knows that there's no one that would really hinder his minutes. I think of Kessler, if Kessler comes, Chet won't care. But I think if Chet comes, Kessler might not transfer to Gonzaga.
Okay. That's an interesting point.
I just don't think he's going to want to be a 6 man. I think he wants to be a starter somewhere.
Yeah, because Kessler's leaving North Carolina because he's not getting enough playing time, so he probably won't want to sit. And also, if Timmy stays, there's no way we get all 3, I think.
Yeah, we'll see, but
yeah. Well,
anyway.
I hope we do. But also, it'll be interesting next year to see Ben Gregg's development, and like we said, Strother. See if Salas is all we think he is. All in all, it's looking bright, and I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes, but I'm really, really excited for Saturday, and hopefully, really, really excited for Monday and Monday night, Saturday night. All the above. Okay, let's move into any more on recruits and starting drives. Let's move into storylines of the season. Thank fucking God, excuse my language, March Madness came back. It was so long. It just didn't feel right last March, obviously, with everything going on. But this, like, just the trumpets of the CBS, like that soundtrack, and Jim Nance's voice and Bill Rafferty saying onions and whatever. It just felt so right, and I missed it so much. Yeah.
I never thought I would miss hearing about people's brackets because I think that's probably my least favorite thing of March is when people tell me about their brackets. I'm like, whoa, like that's awesome. Like I don't give a shit.
It's like everyone's dream.
Completely off, but it was kind of nice hearing it this year. I was like, people were into it. Can you hear me?
Fix your audio. Adjust your computer.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, it was just in my lap, so it kind of sank in there. But anyway, probably gonna edit that out.
Or we keep it in, let it run.
Or keep it in.
Get this far into the podcast, they can deal with it.
Yeah. But
okay, people's brackets. No, we missed March. We missed it.
We missed it. Okay, I'm pulling up the notes right now. That's why I keep looking down.
So,
okay.
Some storylines going in to
can I say one thing?
Gonzaga had a lot of hype, and they've lived up to it. Go ahead.
Okay. this one of the storylines of like March, but how Timmy and his little stash and like the South Park Timmy is like getting all over these t-shirts. It's such bullshit that these players can't make money off it because Timmy would make so much money this tournament. Like it's so stupid.
That does.
Like, all like Barstools making shirts, like all these random companies are just
Friday beers.
The amount of money he could make is, oh my god, it just pisses me off. Like because I know California has that new I don't really know the full extent of it.
Your likeness.
Yeah. I hope that becomes a thing everywhere.
I wonder. Yeah, I know. It'd be interesting to get in Timmy's ear to see if, like, I'm sure deep down he's frustrated, but I wonder if he's thinking about that right now. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is. Who knows?
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Hopefully that's not distracting him, and he keeps his mojo and swag about him. Okay. And I said this before. I know you agree, but we're just echoing it to America and college basketball world. Gonzaga is a powerhouse. Mm-hmm. We don't have the historical tradition. We have Adam Morrison. That's about like as far back as we can go, but we're a powerhouse. And Mark Few has built something out of nothing, which is unreal in Spokane, Washington. And it's awesome to watch. And I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah. It just makes you want to tear up a little bit.
Yep, it does. And we're starting to recruit like it too, which, it comes with it. We're not just developing these guys that are like European or from different countries and like really good Gonzaga dudes. Like we're starting to get talent. And Suggs, Zach Collins, my cousin, helps too. Get these 5 stars.
One storyline that I don't think is talked about enough is the fact that Nemhard was able to have immediate eligibility, because I think he's been such a rock for this team. And like a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but I think you could argue that he's been just as valuable as Suggs has this year. Like he's had some really, really good games, and like he plays really good defense. That's something that's like not talked about a lot. But Mark Few like made sure to mention it after that game against USC. It's like, as good as he is on the offensive end, like good passing, good decisions, not turning it over, like he's really good on the defensive side too. And I think just having good guard play, especially veteran guard play in the tournament, deeper ends, really important, because like Suggs so far has played really well, but like if he kind of has those moments, those freshman moments, it's nice to have that security blanket and a guy like Nemhard. So I think that's a really underrated storyline.
And that's what these basketball analysts always say. It's like, it's good guard play. Like Jay Billis, whatever he always says, like it's good guard play that goes deep in tournaments, which makes sense. You got to like control the ball and not like be phased by the pressure, make free throws and be smart with it, which makes sense. Oh, and then kind of going back to USC, Ayayi took a shot at the beginning of the game. I thought,
oh my God.
Did you see that? His tooth looked like it was like coming out or like into his like upper lip or gum area. That was just he's tough.
So bad. Yeah.
And then the other thing, which is a scary moment too, this is like kind of like all in like the first like 10 minutes was that ref fainting.
Oh, dude, that was wild.
I haven't heard anything like since. I don't know.
Yeah. Side note for all the Mariners fans, the Giants have blown the lead, so Mariners are up 7-6 right now. So,
are you serious?
Yep, they are up right now. So Yadam, you're the Mariners. Just want to throw that out there. Back to the podcast. Yeah, you guys have had a bad 8th inning, that's for sure. But 6 runs. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's okay. The Giants are like they look back to their 3 World Series championships, and they're like, yeah, we can give it to the younger brother.
Yeah, well, you owe me a drink this weekend.
Holy shit! 6 runs in the. That's the thing. The Giants. This is now a baseball podcast. The Giants bullpen is like, it really sucked like a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like our intramural softball team's pitching, which is. We don't need to talk about who the pitcher was, but it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. My other, we have some more notes to finish off with storylines. Is Mark fucking Few? Mm-hmm. Like, don't ever doubt the guy. He's so good.
RT, retweet.
RT. Like, he's awesome. For all like 5'6", 5'7" of him, he's like fills it with good coaching, top to bottom.
It's a bundle of joy,
Like the memes of like God making me this much. Like
yeah.
For you, it's like Never mind. I was going to say something rude, but for you, it's funny and he preaches a lot for Joe.
Oh yeah.
For Mark Few, it's like good coaching, good dude, bad teeth, and then he forgot the height one, but he filled it with good coaching. So
yeah, it's also crazy that he never played college basketball.
Dude, a lot of these coaches, like, except Juwan Howard, which is an exception, but like Nick Cronin didn't like play that college basketball really, and like,
Really?
or maybe he did, but it's no big schools like Tom Izzo. They're all these like short dudes that are just like good at coaching. I don't know. It's funny.
Huh. Well, I'm trying to think. In our little friend group, who do you think would be the coach? The guy that never played. Do you think Nick? Do you think Nick would be a coach?
I think Misha.
Oh yeah, probably Misha.
Misha gets the most out of his team.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, run hard. Here's some popcorn for everyone.
Yeah.
For watching film, they get popcorn every time. Who else would be a good coach? I feel like you could be a good coach. I don't know about basketball.
No, I'd get too pissed. Yeah. Actually,
I get out coach really quick, like really fast.
Yeah. Okay. One thing that was big news from today. We're almost about to wrap this up, but Roy Williams leaving UNC.
Okay, couple things. Why would you ever make a big announcement on April Fool's Day? Because like half of America thought it was like, all right, haha, funny April Fool's joke. And then like he like had a press conference and he like showed up and everyone's like, oh fuck, this is real.
Yeah.
So maybe April Fool started like before he was born or after he was born, so he doesn't get it. He's pretty old. No, I mean like as much as I hate UNC, like I hate them because we choked the championship away Gonzaga in 2017 and he beat us.
Don't talk about it.
He seems like a really like just like an awesome dude. Like whenever he's like running in to his team, I don't know. It's just like he throws his jacket and like runs in and like does a stupid old man dance that like they love, like the players and I don't know, media.
It's gonna be interesting to see the recruits, kind of what happens, because I know Chet, UNC was in his top 7, and you would think there's 0% chance he goes to UNC now. If there was any chance before, like it'll be interesting to see kind of like the repercussions of his decision. But
and UNC going forward, if they don't have a big splash hire, like I can't really think of these like potential coaching candidates, but like if it's not some big name like Jerry Stackhouse, like Vince Carter, didn't he play there? Like he's not going to coach, but you know what I mean. Like it doesn't have to be a former player, but like a good coach, like with a reputable background, like their recruiting might dip, and Gonzaga has shown like we can dip into that talent, which is the kind of going at the perfect time. And so maybe we can get back at UNC in the long game and like start taking their players.
Yeah, I saw they had Brad Stevens as a candidate.
He's not leaving
Boston.
I mean, aren't they almost gonna like they're a playoff team?
Yeah, but I actually don't watch that much NBA, but I think they're kind of like underachieving. I could be wrong though.
But how often do NBA and like NBA coaches go back to college?
Yeah, that is true.
NBA?
Well, unless he gets fired, but we'll see.
That's true. He was like a lock for the Indiana job. Not a lock, but like everyone's saying Brad Stevens for the Indiana because he was from Butler, which is in Indiana. So interesting. Okay, lastly on coaches, I don't get this. This is dumb. And this is terrible timing for Juwan Howard, who just got Coach of the Year today, AP Coach of the Year. I still think it might be an April Fool's joke. No, I mean, like, he did good, and he's turning the program around, kind of, but, like, they were in a good spot before.
Oh, stupid. I think it was Brian Bowers retweeted this, so shout out Brian, but it was like Mark Few literally, like, didn't do a good enough job of, like, winning too many games. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, how do you go undefeated and, like, you're beating everyone by, like, 20-plus points a game? Like, what does he have to do?
He won one of the games this year through the tournament too. He didn't get Gonzaga didn't win by double digits, and that was against West Virginia with the Jalen Suggs scare. He went out. We thought it was an Achilles. It turned out to be an ankle or foot or some shit. Like I don't know, blister. But that was one game. West Virginia was a really good team. They got upset early, which is classic West Virginia. But still, Gonzaga has dominated every team in front of them. And they even scheduled Virginia. They scheduled Kansas. They scheduled all these big programs, and they dominated them. And Mark Few, what does he have to do to win Coach of the Year? I know he won it in 2017.
Did you see that second half stat
Still,
in the
unreal.
tournament? It was literally in the tournament in second halves. There's only been 32 seconds where we haven't been winning by double digits.
Oh
So
my
we played 80 minutes of second half basketball this tournament. 32 seconds. We haven't been up by double digits.
Was that the Oklahoma game?
Well, I mean, like Oklahoma. Oh, yeah, the one where we weren't up by double digits.
What game was that? Or was that combined or something?
It's all, but I think it's probably was all in one game because
Probably Oklahoma, I'm guessing.
Norfolk, we were up the whole game.
Oklahoma
we played, and who do we play? Oh, USC in the who did we play in the Sweet 16?
I can't remember. Oh, Creighton.
Oh, was it Creighton? No. We were up by like 20 at half, I think.
Creighton game was fun to watch too. I honestly forget that game. But anyway, to recap everything. Real quick. What game was it?
Can you see that?
Stop trains can't. What?
Oh no. Can you see that?
No, it's just all white. Is the game over?
Oh yeah, no. They just hit a solo home run at the top of the night, so we're tied up again.
Oh, we're staying until the game's over, and we're gonna give a live reaction.
I think I have 4% left on my laptop. My charger's upstairs. So.
Okay, let's finish up real quick. What are your thoughts on the bubble? And like, it's cool. I think it's cool to see those games in like Butler's Stadium. I like that stadium with the windows. Butler's Mackey or whatever. Is that what it's called? I don't fucking know. There's an arena. Lucas Oil, whatever. I like the bubble. It's been fine. It's been cool. Yep. I do miss like all the different cities and like having like Anaheim or like whatever. Like Louisville, I like the bottom of the court. This is random and stupid. I'm even saying it, but I kind of miss it.
Yeah. And if this video gets 1 million views, we'll be buying tickets for the championship for someone. So yeah, let's get this to 1 million views.
Yeah. All right. Just to wrap everything up. Go Zags. Final predictions. I think the Zags beat UCLA by I said 13 earlier, which is kind of a weird number. I'm just gonna stick with it. I think they beat them by 13. I don't have exact numbers, which makes them cover. Zags cover again. Baylor wins in a dogfight. Gonzaga plays Baylor Monday night, and Gonzaga wins by 7. And Kispert comes back, and he's the difference. What are your final predictions?
All right, I'm going to be a little bit more bold on the UCLA one. I think we win by 25.
Okay.
I think it's a big win. I'm going to be, if not, I don't know. I'm going to be drinking the whole game. If we don't win, I will be boozing.
Win or lose, we booze.
Win or lose, we booze. Yeah, absolutely. And then Baylor, I say we win that by five points. And we
25-5. I have 13-7. So we got a good range.
Yeah, so we're the first undefeated team in the nation since 1976 Indiana.
Yeah, and if that does happen, I mean, it's already discussed this week in the media. That's like the best basketball team ever, which I don't love, but I do love at the same time. So if that happens, we'll definitely come back with like maybe live reaction. We might have to retape that depending on how much of a reaction we have.
Yeah, maybe on Instagram Live or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We start a social media platform.
Yeah, we should upload our podcast on the Instagram.
We can like clip it out. Okay, and with that, we're gonna end the show. We love you, listeners. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Subscribe below. I'm just kidding. Go Zags.
Yeah, go Zags. I don't really have anything else to add. So we'll probably do a little podcast, maybe a Saturday night live reaction. We'll see, but we'll keep.
If you're listening, we'll likely invite you on to be like a guest. Appear as a guest because we understand the fan base is probably a little bit small and it's probably people we know. So if you listen to get to this point, come talk to us. With that, we're gonna end. This has been the JoCo show on April 1st, April Fool's Day, and yeah, that's it. Go Zags.
All right. Hit it. Log